in between lives, you are in the spiritual realm. You've got these lessons from the masters, from the mentors, because each one of us has got a mentor when we come here, living an experience of being squeezed in a body made of stardust, born to love, to evolve, to shine, to be the best version of yourself.
All right. Today we are welcomed by Barbara Paz of Quantum Babs is her YouTube channel and handle. And we're going to discuss with her all sorts of interesting things today. Reincarnation, astral projection. She is a spiritual guru and would love to dive deep with her. Welcome, Barbara.
Thank you so much, Joey, to having me here and to talk to your audience. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Well, I'm happy to have you on the show. Now, where exactly are you coming from? It's over in the Netherlands, right?
Yes, at this moment, I am based in the Netherlands, but I was born in Brazil,
Very cool.
10,000 kilometers from here.
That's quite a jump, going from the South America to Europe. What took you there again? Did you say you were chasing a boy? Is that what had happened? Or
I was alone in Brazil. I was divorced and my kids had already left home. So when I found a new boyfriend, I didn't know where he was from. I ended here.
well, I guess you could have picked worse places to end up in.
Oh, for sure. But I love to be here. I absolutely love the Netherlands. Now I can call it home. I believe you can make home anywhere, no? You can make home in Saturn if it's needed, but here is really nice to live.
And I was watching your videos on the YouTube channel that you have, and you get a lot of them are outdoors. So you get a good kind of taste of the Netherlands weather. I think it was raining and then snow in one of them, like just instantly as you're talking. I'm like, what? I had to stop and like, what just happened? It was pouring down rain and now it's like huge 1-inch snow balls coming down.
Yeah,
Like, what the heck?
it is amazing here. You can have the four seasons at once in a day. It's very funny.
That's cool. It's a lot like similar maybe in the four seasons we have here. I'm in Kansas, in the middle of the United States, but I don't know if it gets as hot there as it does here. We get 100 degrees in the summer and negative 10 degrees in the winter. I don't know what that is Celsius, but zero. And I think that's what you said it was on one day when I was watching that video, right?
Oh yeah, here is Celsius. It's really nice. We have all seasons that are really, I can see the leaves falling down. We are recording this video now in the beginning of the autumn, and I'm already making pumpkin soup and getting into the vibe of autumn. And not only into the vibe, getting to learn a little with the autumn, because every season that comes teaches us a little lesson.
Right. And how do you talk much on the channel about the seasonal changes, things like that? I know like right now we're in Mercury retrograde. Do you get into much of that sort of stuff with the planetary shifts and everything? The alignments, things like that, or not?
No, I don't talk about. No, I try to talk more about things that are not temporary, things that doesn't matter when you are going to watch the video, you're going to get out with something.
Nice. So like universal truths then.
Yes.
I think you've got a lot of your focus is on reincarnation, on astral projection. Why don't you share a little bit about that? I've got some questions I'd like to follow up with on, but what kind of brought you into, how did you discover this? First of all, I guess that's usually the place we need to go when it comes to this sort of stuff.
How did I discover? Wow, it was something that was born with me. The first time I had this kind of conversation, I was with my mother. I was 6. I remember as if it was yesterday. We were sitting together in leather couch, capitone, with the buttons. And she came crying, and she was crying. Said, "Why are you crying?" She said, "Your grandma just passed away." I said, "Yeah, but why are you crying?" She said, "Oh, Barbara, you don't understand. I'm never going to see my mother again." I said, "No, we are all going to the same place. We are all going to meet there again. Life is not the end." So this is something that was born with me. I was like this. And
How old
12
were
I
you, you
was for the
said?
first time that I had a visit from my aunt. My aunt has passed away. She was my mother's sister, older sister. And I remember crystal clear. She came to hug me, and I felt so great. I knew I was dreaming. I knew I was sleeping. I knew I was in an extra body experience, in an astral projection, and I knew that my aunt has passed away. That was no dream, that I
Hmm.
was really feeling that and living that. And I woke up feeling great, feeling awesome. And those kind of things were natural to me.
So what is it? Where do you think we're going when we dream? I know there's a lot of theories out there, and oh, this happens and that happens. What do you think happens when we dream?
There are two sorts of dreams. There is this kind of dream that you are trying to digest the things that are going on in your life. You are trying to figure it out and to put into those folders in your brain and to try to make connections and to understand who you are and where you are in the world. And those dreams, they are easy to find out that they are just dreams because they are really fantasies. And when things become another, you are in a horse and then you scuba dive and then it's crazy stuff. And, things that
Yeah,
you are coming up that pops
right,
in your mind, depending on what's happening in your life.
right,
Those
right. So
dreams,
are those your dreams from your imagination then, you think, that you're just creating and trying to play out every possible role, maybe like maybe I want to do this or maybe I want to do that. I'm going to create that in my dream and see what it feels like, maybe.
yeah, your subconscious mind create those dreams to digest the things and to understand the things. And Carl Jung tried to figure it out what they mean, and but the meaning is also different to each person. Those books, they say, "Oh, we when you dream with the snake, that means that a little." No, it's not like this because it means something different to you and to me.
Interesting,
So
right.
this is one type of dream, but there is another type of dreams. We are eternal spirits living one experience here in earth. We come here and we receive a body. The body that we get when we are born is not who we are. We are the soul that is wearing this body. And
Hmm.
only this body has the need to sleep and to rest. Your eternal soul, your true essence, who you really are, that it has no need to rest. Then you can unfold. You can have extra body experiences. You can leave your physical body there sleeping and walk into the spiritual realm, where we all came from and where we are going to all go back after we die. Because the only thing that dies is the body, is the
Hmm.
physical body, that thing. You look into the mirror, you brush the teeth in the morning, you make your hair, you put gel and make your hair nice. So you think you relate so much with that you think you are that, but you're not. You
Right,
really are not. You
right,
have a body. You say my body. You don't say I body.
right, right. I yeah, I just what got me going down this whole path in the first place, I've always been a very science-based guy. So, faith was the least of what I believe, it was more science, less faith, that I've come to realize that it's really all faith and very little science. But, I use the idea of we're all just energy. We're all just tiny molecules just bouncing around so super fast, right? And it's the body is just a vibration of energy. It's not anything real. We live in an illusion, just like a video game being projected out. And, when it's over, poof, off we go. That energy goes somewhere. But I like what you said. Uh, I tell my children, my youngest one for sure, he's 11. I tell him every night before bed, it's like, go off and have just amazing dreams and travel wherever you're going to travel tonight. I can't wait to hear about where you go. And I really emphasize that with them, as far as once when you go to sleep and you start dreaming, it's like, you're not here anymore. I ask them in the morning, where'd you go last night? What'd you do? I try to put more emphasis on not just your sleeping. It's like, where'd you go? What experiences did you have? Because I believe they're real, right? I mean, they're
Yes, they are real. Yes, you can unfold and go back because you are attached by your silver cord. And you are right to say that to your son. I actually wrote a book, Take the Red Pill, where I say that this is just an avatar and life is like a video game, that we are here, but we are so uh, focused playing that video game so fanatically that we think that we are this avatar, but we are not, like the kid when they are playing
right,
the video
right.
games.
What do you think, in your opinion? It seems like there's so many of us waking up to this reality, waking up to this belief at this point in time, or was everybody just so afraid to talk about what we truly believed, even just 5 years ago? It seemed shunned, but now it's like everybody's starting to understand. It's becoming mainstream, I guess. What do you think, in your opinion, has been where does that come from?
Okay. We are here to learn, to evolve, to become the best version of ourselves. But we don't do that just as individuals, but as a collective also. And Earth is going through a transformation. It's changing the sort of planet and the energy of the people that are here. So I think that we all subscribed to that when we came to this incarnation, that we are going to be active parts of this changing in Earth. Um, I don't know, maybe in United States, things are, people are more critical about those things, but in Brazil, it's really natural. I was born in a family that those things were celebrated. And
Mm-hmm.
although my mother was really, really Catholic, she didn't believe, but as I was talking and talking to her since I was a kid, we are star seeds. We are here as like workers. We are here to bring a little light. And when you bring the light, there is no more shadow. If you pick up the light of just one candle, you can light up 1,000 candles and you won't lose your light.
Right.
And that's what we are came here to do, to shine a light, to sparkle. And it's how do you call it in English? A domino effect. When you do that,
Right.
all the pieces fall down at once, and everything comes to this adjustment. We are all evolving, and the planet also.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to Earth to go through this transformation. We cannot live anymore the way we used to. It's time.
That's very beautiful and well said. I agree with you on all levels there. Uh, a point, as far as the United States goes, I think the rest of the world, you guys have been, especially South America, you guys have been very lucky in that you've embraced and been able to embrace that belief and spirituality. It's been for 100 years, like they've tried to eradicate it and erase it from the United States, from our culture, from, you know, be it school, the education system, or religion, whatever. It's like it's either black or white, but they never left us any room for anything else. So you were always looked at as
Well,
odd or crazy or whatever you want to call it. Uh, Prior to maybe 5, 10 years ago, when everybody started kind of waking up to this, what's going on. I think we're seeing through the veil, we're seeing through the truth, more of us. But yeah, it's been hard in the United States because we're so programmed to believe certain
yeah.
things, and nobody wants to feel like they're out of the tribe. So it's like, I gotta be either in or I'm on my own. So yeah, it's uh good for you guys down, just
No, but it's good to
Brazil and
be
all that.
anywhere. It doesn't matter. You are born now in this lifetime in United States, but in other lifetimes you were born in other lands, in other. It
Right.
doesn't matter. We are all one. We're all one. And I love United States, by the way. I love Broadway. I love so many things about United States. I've learned English since I was a kid. Everybody loves United States, and you are privileged to be born there. And this is one thing. And another thing is, I believe that even there, people are realizing that it's not just they are less digital, they are less zeros or ones, black or white, good or evil, light and shadow. There is no shadow, there is no black, because there is just this absence of light. If you
Mhm.
bring the light, the darkness is there no more.
Right, just poof, it's gone. It obliterates it, right? Well, don't
and,
get me wrong.
and
I love the United States, and I'm proud of everything we stand for. We're awakening quickly, and it's really fun. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else at this point in time in our evolution. This is just, we chose to come here for this mission, and it's just so much fun, and I appreciate every day of it. Um, let's You mentioned it, past lives and everything. Let's dive into that here. I've got some things maybe we'll come back to on dreaming and everything, but since you were talking about that, let's dive into the past lives. It sounds like your philosophy and mine are pretty similar on it. We're eternal beings. We're here for to evolve, to learn. I tell people it's like we're in the senior year, final year of our senior year of high school, right now. And we're so close to graduating, but we still have a lot of we still got the finals to go. And it's like, oh,
yeah.
you can either look at them like
Yeah.
they suck, I hate finals, or you can be like, oh my God, I'm a week away from, or whatever, from graduating and going to the next level. So, you want to dive in and kind of give your thoughts on
Yes, let's
reincarnation and all
go.
that?
Do you know that three-thirds, no, three-fourths of humankind believe in reincarnation?
Three-fourths, that many, huh?
Yeah, so we are not so few. We are
Right,
not so
right.
few.
Yeah, that's, I
That's
guess,
the
even to,
first thing.
if 75%, three-quarters, that's a lot of Christians even in there, and Catholics that are believing in it. So, yeah, I think all of the religious doctrines, doesn't matter which one you're reading, I think they all are leading us to this acknowledgement, this path of like, yeah, it's, you don't just die. You keep going on and on and on. So yeah.
Yeah, that's the first thing. Second, there is a guy, a doctor, Dr. Brian Weiss. He's an American. Now he lives in Miami, I believe. He wrote many books. He's a psychiatrist. And he was trying to help this woman to overcome her fears. And he has tried everything with her for about a year and a half, and she was not developing, she was not going good. So he talked to her in let's try hypnosis. And in a session, he said to her, I want you to go back to the time of your life that this problem has its origin. I want you to go back to the point zero of this problem. And he thought she was going to go to her childhood, or maybe when her mother was pregnant, but she came back to a previous life. She went back to a past life. He was, what's the word that I can use here? Flabbergasted. He was, oh, what? Because he was a doctor, a scientist.
Right.
And he didn't believe in any of that. He was Jewish. But little by little, he was exploring many lifetimes of her and from other patients as well. So he wrote many books. It was also something out of the movies when he wrote the first book, because his peers were, oh, what's that?
Right.
And
Yeah.
Dr. Moody also wrote many books about near-death experiences and what you find when you are about to your physical body is about to die.
Yeah.
So there are scientists in our side also now.
On our side now, yes, absolutely. And you've got so many mainstream guys, even like Greg Braden and Joe Dispenza, that are just allowing the belief and the faith in the science of what we do to all kind of come together, to where now it's no longer just poof, magic, whatever you want to call it. It's like, no, science. This is factual science coupled with the belief in the mind and how it all works, and spirituality. And yeah, it's a, like I said, it's an amazing time to be alive right now.
It is. Deepak Chopra also. But when somebody says, hey, you are a widow, or you are crazy, or you are a witch, or something like that, doesn't bother me at all.
Right. They're just you projected outward. So what are you doubting about yourself if you're calling yourself names, right?
Oh yeah, yes, absolutely. People project a lot.
Right. So how many or you believe in, as I do, in past lives, and how many lives can we have? I mean, what are your thoughts on how this all works?
Okay, you want to know about numbers?
Or just a general, just a thought, like, how does this all work and what are we doing here? What's the purpose of it all?
Or I've read somewhere that we had maybe 90 lives here on Earth, but we are not only here on Earth. I read some books of people who channeled great authors from the other side that are no longer here in the physical realm, that they are living lives in other planets. So there is this migration through the planets. And we here on Earth are exiles from chapel, from Capella, actually. When we came here, Capella was going through a transformation just like Earth it is right now. The same level of development that Earth is right now, Capella was going 40,000 years ago.
Wow.
And the spirits of the people who couldn't be there anymore because they didn't resonate yet. They didn't develop enough to be there, to deserve to be there. There was 4 big migrations here to Earth, and we are those spirits. We came actually from Capella.
Right. So it sounds to me you're in line with like the law of one, in terms of, that sounds like the harvest, basically. When we hit our evolutionary moment, we either evolve and go move forward, or we fall back and repeat it all over again. So at the time of that harvest, we would either move, we'd either stay there and the new frequencies and energies would align with us and resonate with us, or potentially we'd move off to a different location and still evolve. But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, there's a bunch of people that aren't quite ready to move on. So they have to go elsewhere and do it all over again. Ra says it's a 75,000 year cycle of 25,000 year cycles, all in, for 75,000 years. And if you don't learn your lesson at the end of that 75,000 years, you go back and do it again. Is that pretty much similar to where you're
It
at on
is
it?
it is similar. We do that also at school. When you're at school and you prefer to play a lot, or you don't get ready, or you don't learn the lessons, you just go back to the same year
Right, right, right.
with new people.
I
Yeah, your friends move on and you go and make the year again. Or
am glad
sometimes
you brought that up. That's something I had discussed and thought about a couple months ago, was, with the idea of people that are awakening now and the people that are still asleep, right? You've got one or the other group. And I used to get upset and frustrated with the people still sleeping, because it's like, why can't they see this? Why can't they get over it? And then I just realized it's exactly what you said. And it was the idea, that's where I came up with, we're all in 12th grade, senior year finals. Well, not all of us. The people that haven't awoken yet, maybe they're sophomores, maybe they're freshmen. It's not their fault. They're just at a different timeline of evolution. So it's like, how can I get mad at them? How can I wonder why they're not there yet? They're only sophomores, they're freshmen. They've got more time still left to evolve before they finally get there. So it took a lot of pressure, a lot of frustration off of me when I could put it in that kind of conceptualized, like, why would I be mad at a freshman when I'm a senior that doesn't know as much as me? He's just he just hasn't been there yet.
I've been there. I've been at this side of the table, not mad, but frustrated with people that I love, that are still there struggling and doing bad things. And I wish they could open their eyes and see, but then I realized, hey, we are all going to the same place. There is this point that we are all going to, some go like this and some prefer to make take the long road, but
Right.
we are all going to get there. We have to hold hands to those who are in front of us, and take the hands who's behind, push and pull. We are all going together like in a chain.
It's absolutely, we're all connected as part of the whole here. And it's just, we're all individual little versions of the creator, and we're able to create these experiences through our own projections. And we're all living the same experiences collectively. And then at some point in time, I guess we become a universal, or universal collective, or planetary collective. And then we have every thought, every experience ever from that planet. We combine everything there, right?
We are co-creators of
Right.
our own reality. And
Yes.
Earth is evolving, and there won't be place here for those who don't resonate with that anymore. They are going to take away from Earth. And that's why things are so difficult right now, the last 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
things are, when you are in a video game and you are about to go to the next level, the things get harder. You have to fight a little harder
Right. You get the
to
final battle at
overcome
the
your
end, right?
challenges.
That's a great example. I had never thought of it. I mean, I've thought of the video game in many times, but I haven't thought of it like that, because you're right. You always have a boss at the end or some level you have to, like, ending you have to beat in order to advance. So that's a perfect way. I'm going to have to start using that.
Oh, yeah. And when things are really difficult, it's because you are going to the next level.
Right. So in essence, it's like, bring it on. Come on, make this harder.
Yeah, I'm ready.
It's if it's too
Exciting. It's an
easy,
exciting time to be alive. It's an awesome time to be here on earth. We
right?
are privileged.
I I'm blessed, and the way I'm so appreciative of everything at this point. I feel like I live in grace 24 hours a day, all the time. I'm living in grace. The beauty of everything. It's just so much fun when we can get to that point, of not being afraid, not being sad about this, not being upset about that. It's just
No, we have
grace
to
of it
learn. We
all.
have to learn with the animals. We have to overcome really fast our fears, our traumas, the things that hurt us. When you watch television and you see the lion is going to get the gazelle or the monkeys or the zebras, and they are running all over everywhere, and the lion gets one of them and begin to eat. They go. They all the rest of the animals,
Mhm.
in 5 minutes they're relaxed. In 5 minutes they're drinking water and eating some grass. They are relaxed. They just shake the body and begin again. You don't
Right.
see somebody complaining, oh, that happened to me. You don't see that. You don't
That's
see, poor
hilarious.
little me. Oh, life. Oh, my. Oh. No, you don't
Well,
see.
what
They
was
just shake the body and move on.
tried? What was it? There's a Disney character. Was it Thumper? That was no Eeyore. Eeyore. That's the only animal I can think of that's woe is me.
Oh,
Winnie
hardy
the
har
Pooh.
har.
What's that?
Hardy har har. Just all life. Oh, my God. Oh, poor little me.
Well, what have you done past life readings for yourself then? I imagine have you gotten some insight as to who you've
No,
potentially been?
actually,
No,
I'm curious about doing something like that.
really?
So, yeah, maybe somebody that's watching this video and can help me with that.
Right?
Please
Yeah.
write in the comments below, Barbara, and I'll reach for you.
Yeah, that would be cool. I definitely think you should do it. I tried it out about a little over a year ago. I
Oh,
went to
tell
like
me
a
your experience. I'm curious.
yeah, oh, it was fascinating. It was crazy because I went to a one of the psychic shows here in town, the metaphysical shows, and I sat down with two or three different mediums, different psychics, and was able to uh, get a past life reading from, I think, two of them. And the stuff that they came up with was just insane. First of all, the things they knew about me, they didn't even ask me really questions. They just led down the path of, it was like, you really like water, you love boats, there's something about ships. And I'm like, okay, go on, because my dream for 30 years has been to have a yacht and to travel the ocean, to live on the sea. And I just love boats and being on boats. And so this one's just going deep into, you love boats, you were a captain in many, many past lives. And I'm like, okay, that explains a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
And
You know what, Joey? That really matches with you. That's
yeah,
a match. Couldn't they check your Facebook or so before you were on stage?
no, it was right there. It was a small little show. I just walked right up and sat down at their table and started talking to them. They didn't know who I was or couldn't have researched anything. They just,
Very
yeah,
interesting.
they just knew right off the bat. It went straight into boating, fishing. And as it built up, she was able, and I've tried researching this and I haven't found it yet, but I lived sometime, she said, back in around the 1800s time period. I was a very wealthy slave owner down in the South somewhere. But she said I was a very good man. I was a wizard. Said in many of my past lives, I've been a powerful wizard and sorcerer, and I've been able to create realities, and said that I've always, for many of those lives, have been very well off, I've been wealthy. And she said, like in this one here, I had been in the military as a ship, like a captain, right? And then I would retired. And she said that I was out doing, had a fishing boat, like a big fishing boat with all my workers and everything. And she thought that at one point I got thrown in the water by my workers and trapped in a net and almost drowned. And she said, actually, no, that wasn't it. They were trying to help you. I fell in and they pulled me out, said I was a very good man and very good to work for. And I'm like, well, that's good. And then come to find out, she's like, but you died when your house was burnt down. They burnt down the house you were in at night, and that's how I had died. And I'm like, oh, well, that sucks. But I was, but I
You've
mean, it
got
was
to
like I
die
was a very,
somehow.
huh?
You've got to die somehow.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, it's just, she said that I was a really good man, though, very powerful, very wizard, able to create realities, very wealthy, but ship captain in many, many, many of these lives. And then I spoke with another one who told me that I was she saw me back around like the seventh, maybe sixth, seventh century, and I was living in Mediterranean, like Greece, the coast, somewhere around Italy, Mediterranean. And apparently I was a deaf, mute, like handicapped man. Like I couldn't function on my own. I couldn't speak. I couldn't do anything. And apparently my grandfather had taken me from town, and it was just him and me that lived out alone way outside of town because nobody accepted me. They wanted, I guess, probably to kill me for being who I was, just put me down. So he took me out, and she said that was where I began to learn my powers and my worth, that because he believed in me and he knew that there was value in me, he did everything he could to protect me and keep me alive. And then apparently I died after he died, because once he died, I basically starved to death and died of dehydration because I couldn't provide for myself. And it was a very painful, very sad, I didn't know why type death. So, just those two past lives, I've been able to go back and like journal on them and really dive deep into what was the purpose of that, if that was the case. Why did I have to feel that pain and the sadness of that, or the abundance of this? It's really cool. So definitely recommend uh,
Oh,
doing
absolutely.
some of those,
Oh,
because it blew
very
me away.
interesting. And
Yeah.
it's really rich because we have to come as woman, as a man, as a gay, as wealthy, as poor, as in a good country, in a bad country,
Mm-hmm.
in many situations. Every time that we come here to Earth, it's like going to school to a year. Every time we learn something different, and we have the chance also to meet again people that are dear to our hearts, like family, like our friends, and
Mm-hmm.
also people who did bad things to us, or did bad things to them, and make up for, and find love, because we are here to learn to love unconditionally everyone. So it's
Right.
better to make up for our bad manners now than in the next life.
Absolutely. I'm fully in agreement with you there. We have to experience every up and every down, all the good, all the bad, all the love, the joy, the hate, the anger, the pain and suffering. It all has to be experienced, and each life. And that's cool you said that. That's a meditation I started doing a while back, was going in and forgiving my past lives, my past self, because you have to imagine, I think, every past life that's come before us has probably felt as if they failed and they let us down when they've died, because it's like they're dying. I didn't accomplish this. I didn't accomplish that. And so I was able to go back in my mind and start forgiving each one of those past lives. Like, you didn't die in vain, because you created this right here. You had to die. You had to experience, let's say, you had to experience the pain of cancer for me to be this. Thank you. Thank you so much for that pain, that you went through, or you had to experience this, or you had to experience that. And I started thinking all of those past lives experienced, because they've allowed me to build and build and build. So now they get their vindication. It's like if they're all in the bleachers behind us, watching, they're like, yay, see, I did do it. I won.
Yeah, but it's all you.
Right.
I have two books that I know that you're going to love when you read them.
Yeah.
One of them is Many Masters, Many Lives from Brian Weiss, and the other one is Heaven and Hell from Allan Kardec.
Okay.
The first one, Many Master, Many Lives, it tells the experience of this girl this woman that he was treating, and he explored many, many lives. And it is so rich. It is so rich.
That sounds fascinating.
It's not only in between lives, you are in the spiritual realm. You've got these lessons from the masters, from the mentors, because each one of us has got a mentor when we come here. We have a father, a mother in the physical realm, and we have a mentor or an angel. You can call it whatever you want. Right. We have somebody who's got our back in the spiritual realm. And those masters tell beautiful lessons in this book. And the second book, Heaven and Hell, is a book that was written in the 19th century by Allan Kardec. It was a book, actually, it was channeled by many mediums who wrote and tell letters of spirits after death, and from all kind of them, that had happy lives, that have joyful and blissful lives, and those who didn't live so good, or did bad things, or they got regrets. So it's so rich. You're going to love it.
I'll definitely check both of them out. I love reading, and any books I can get my hands on, that help me along my path, along my journey here. It's like, I've got to read that. I can't put them down. So I will definitely have to put them on the list. So thank you. Have you, I was going to say, there's this awesome video. It's only about 10 to 15 minutes. I'll share a link with you, but it's on YouTube, and it's the story. I can't think of the name of it, but the story of it is this soul goes, it's in the other realm, in between death and getting ready to reincarnate. And the soul's having a conversation with God, and he's trying to understand why they have to go through all the pain, all the suffering, what is the purpose of all of it. And then as he's having this conversation with God, all these angels, all these other people or souls are gathering around, listening, like, oh my gosh, he's having an amazing conversation with God. We got to hear this. And at one point, one of the souls comes out and said, because he has to go back and he has to do these things for the experience. And they're not pleasant things. They're like terrible things. And the little soul's like, I don't want to do this. I'm scared. And the soul, one of them steps out of the crowd and says, don't worry, don't be afraid. I'm going back with you to do this. And it's like, why would you do that? And it's like, I just want to teach you. I want to help you. I love you. And I will do it for you. I'll do it for anybody. I'll be the most evil thing in the world to you when we go back so that you can experience that and grow from it. And the little soul's just like, oh my God, that's like the most amazing thing I've ever heard. Like, I probably screwed it all up in terms of explaining it, but
Oh, put the video in the description
yeah, I'll put the
below.
video in the description. It's one of my favorite ones. I haven't listened to it in a little bit, but I played it for my kids and was like, this is so awesome. And they're both just kind of like, yeah, it's cool, Dad. Like, but did you really understand what it said? Well, Barbara, I think we'll start to wrap this up. I've had an amazing conversation with you today. And where can people find you again if you want to tell us where to find you on YouTube, if you're on Facebook?
Okay. I have a YouTube called Quantum Bobs. You can find here in the description below. I have an Instagram, Bob Spas. You can find me there too. Joey, thank you
Fantastic.
so much for the invitation. It has been a privilege to be here and talking to your audience.
Oh, I've enjoyed having you, and it's been so much fun. Is there any last words you want to leave the audience with today?
Remember, you are an eternal spirit living an experience of being squeezed in a body made of stardust, born to love, to evolve, to shine, to be the best version of yourself. You are not your body and you are not your mind.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Joey.
Yeah, thank you, Barbara. We'll talk to you later.
Namaste.
Namaste.